for ACC at 125. So right now, whoever wins punches their ticket to NCAAs, is an NCAA qualifier, has that on their resume now. So this is huge for both of these matches, trying to punch their ticket.
Jacob Camacho trying to go for his 4th trip to the NCAAs. He won the ACC title in 2020 and 2022. In 2020, he was actually named the ACC Championship's most outstanding wrestler. Jacob Camacho taking on Egan, who, as we mentioned, Glenn Lanham calling him fire and ice. He can come out on fire and surprise you, and then other times he can be a little bit cold, coming off a good win.
Yeah, he got the upset over Monteperto, who was the 4 seed, so that's looking really good for Egan. He got 4th in last year's ACC championships. Fell to Kai Oren, that was at 133. Egan going down to 125 this year, and Camacho, he's so slick. One of the best 125 wrestlers in the country.
And he is on the board. He did not wrestle last year, but he has come back.
Yeah, he was out of college wrestling a year ago. So you look at his accolades, they stop in 2022, and Camacho just really slick, getting to the leg, gets underneath, and Egan knows he's beat, just gets to his base position so he can try and start working to get an escape now that they started in the middle.
NC State sent 9 of 10 to the NCAAs, and Pat Papalizio talked about doing a lot of work at 165, where they send in basically all your 4 wrestlers to try to figure it out, with a goal of sending all 10 this year. No guarantee, but that's definitely the goal. They've been pretty clear about that.
Yeah, they're trying to get their 6th straight ACC title. Camacho, you're going to see him be the aggressor. A lot of attacks coming from him. He can also ride on top, trying to get that leg in. Let's go of Egan. Camacho's the number 9 wrestler in the country at the 125 weight class. He only wrestled 2 ACC matches this year, though, against Flynn and Monteperto. Flynn being the 2 seed, wrestling on the other mat right now.
Did beat Fleet 10-4, and beat Monteperto 8-4. Camacho won his first 7 of the year, then lost 4, but comes into this having won his last 3, Nick.
Yeah, finding his rhythm at a right time is what he wants. He's going for a cradle here. He's got the arms locked. A great job right now. Almost gets the back points. Good job by Egan to find his balance. You can get lost sometimes, not know where to go, and Camacho right back in to that cradle. Egan stretching out. Now gets around the head. He's got the cradle locked. We can see a pin. First one on mat 2 today. Some points awarded.
Camacho's got Egan in a tough spot here.
Cradle's in. Looks like the back's being shown. Not enough for the official. There it is. Didn't see any swipes in the first period. Egan gets out of it.
But it's a 6-1 lead.
Right there, he was working the leg by having it locked behind the back, and then he switches, goes around the head because he has the knee so high of Egan, locks it for the cradle. Egan keeps that arm out, which really prevents Camacho from putting him fully on his back.
Egan starts down. He's a senior from Lancaster, Ohio, and Lancaster High School.
Egan, a guy who's cutting down this year to 125. He wrestled at 133 a year ago. Camacho just so good. He just works that leg up, uses his body to push it so he can get the hands locked, gets it again. Let's see if he tries to roll it the other way to try and get Egan on his back and get a second period pin, and he does. There it is. Egan rolls through. Camacho's getting everything he wants, but Egan's not letting him fully complete the moves.
Egan with a 28-48 career record. His last win came over Colton Camacho.
And here he's got the cradle again. Like I said, I expected him to kind of drop down and roll. But Egan just gets dropped on his hip, and then the balance and the momentum takes them back to that neutral position. As he still has it locked. Camacho now going to let Egan up and just go from neutral where he's had an advantage. Riding times up to 154, so a good spot for Camacho.
Remember, 2 AQs at 125. We can tell you that Flynn has a slim 1-0 lead over Camacho on mat 1. Flynn for Virginia Tech, Camacho for Pitt. And we'll double down here to show you, because the winners get the automatic qualifier to the NCAAs, let alone our prime time tonight on the ACC network.
And I mentioned it earlier, Camacho for Pitt. Colton Camacho came in as the 6th seed. He's not a 6th seed wrestler. He could give Flynn a run for his money and potentially knock out the 2 here. So that's a big one to watch between Virginia Tech and Pitt, Flynn and Camacho. And then Jacob Camacho on the other side, he's controlling that matchup. Mat 2 came in as the 1 seed. Huge 3 points there for Flynn, getting the takedown. Camacho stacks on riding time.
Yeah, you know, we talked a lot about the amount of Pac fans here. A lot of Virginia Tech fans here too, making some noise.
Yeah, traveling pretty well to come down. It's a mix of a lot of Virginia Tech and NC State, UNC, and Duke worked in there as well, and Pitt.
Our mat 2 coverage here, it's been a dominant performance any way you slice it from Jacob Camacho, who is a team captain out of Danbury, Connecticut at Danbury High School.
Egan was trying to get over top of Camacho, but Camacho just slips out. Second team All-American in 2020, and he's still at the top of his game here. Good job by Egan, though. Gets the front headlock. He had a chance for a roll, but there's just the next level by Camacho, and there's Egan. He tries to get a gator roll and puts himself on his back.
Thought he had him there. There it is. And we get the fall right there. Really, Jacob Camacho from start to finish dominating. And
I can't be mad at Egan for what he tried, because that's all he had. He had to try and go for a pin. He knew the point differential. Camacho was controlling it the whole way. So Egan gives it a shot. He has it locked, but he slips on it. Doesn't get enough of a grab, so he just rotates. Camacho stays exactly where he is, puts himself on his back. Second time we've seen that here on mat 2 today. Camacho gets the pin. He's moving on to the finals.
NC State and Pitt on mat 2.
I'm excited. We get to see Kai Oren here on mat 2 going against Santaniello for Pitt. The 1 versus 4. Kai Oren, one of the most electric wrestlers you'll see in college wrestling.
Kai, a redshirt junior from Imperial, Missouri. 13-2 on the season, 8-2 in duels. Tech falls that he won. He did have 1 fall, and he was pinned 1 time this year.
Yeah, Oren, a 2023 ACC champ. Said this year it's been a really tough cut, but he's been very disciplined getting down to this 133 weight, because he joked earlier on in a call with Rock Harrison and Sean Kenny that it's like, this is not the weight I'm walking around at. He's got to get down to under 133 every time as he gets in on a leg. Gets the single, tucks it. The whizzer in from Santaniello. Tries to keep the scramble. No points yet. If Oren drops him down, great roll from Santaniello. This is where those lightweights are fun to watch when they're scrambling around, and Oren gets the best of that matchup.
Oren beat Vinny 9-2 on January 26th. Oh, he moved to 9-2. He beat him 10-1. I apologize.
Yeah, Oren's 4-0 in the ACCs. The strong favorite to win at 133 and repeat as ACC champ.
Guy going for 3 straight years to the NCAAs. Nice takedown here.
And that was a great job from Santaniello. He keeps it going. He keeps on throwing in these little funk rolls to try and make it harder for Oren to finish that takedown. But finally, the last funk roll just doesn't get to the spot he wants. Doesn't have a grab anymore. Goes for a switch right off of the start. Back in the referee's position in the middle. Oren getting some riding time here. Oren is such a difficult guy to take down and very good on top as well. Santaniello nearly gets out, but gets back to referee's position in the middle. And get an escape and halt this riding time for Oren. It could be a huge advantage. Has an RPI of 21 and is currently ranked 24th by the coaches. A rating, 1 fall, 3 tech calls, and 4 rating decisions to his credit.
Kyle Reed with a 3-0 lead and 25 seconds remaining here.
Now Kyle's going for the roll, trying to get Santaniello on his back. He has the arm bar in. Arm bar in a tight waist. Gets us to the end of the period. We'll see where the coin flip goes. It says it's going to be red decision, so Green gets the choice.
Our officials for the ACC are experimenting with official-to-official communication today. Brandon Neff, the associate commissioner, said the ACC is the first conference where the officials can't communicate in-match using radios.
4 falls this year for Delaware. 1 technical fall and 4 major decisions to his credit. Latona. Now 4 tech falls this year.
Potentially dangerous, gets a stop there. Sereni's a guy to look at, 5th in the country, someone you could definitely see making some splashes in NCAAs. Trying to be a national champion. That's why he's been so disciplined this year, making changes that he hadn't in the past, being more dedicated to his diet, nutrition, that cut he has to do to get down to 133.
I can tell you on mat 1, Latona, the 3 seed, who already had a tech fall against Adams, is leading Virginia's Yarborough slimly by a score of 1-0 over on mat 1. 3 automatic qualifiers at 133 for the ACC.
And that's going to be a battle to see who gets that 3rd spot. Santaniello's putting up a fight right now with Arini. So whoever is able to wrestle their way back to that 3rd place match, it's going to be a fight. Arini in on that leg. Santaniello has to release to stay off his back.
6-0 lead. So still 1-0 Latona with the lead over on mat 1, just letting you know.
Over on, here on mat 2. Great job getting him the single leg, and then there, just Santaniello has to release, or else he's going to put himself in even more of a dangerous situation as we now go to the double box of mat 1 and mat 2. Latona and Yarborough in a close one, 1-1.
Yarborough tying it up. Double box time on ACC Network Extra. Semifinals 2024 ACC Wrestling Championships with 28 automatic qualifiers and hopes to send as many as 34 to the NCAAs.
Mat 1, they're trying to make it confusing with the double gray camo singlets. But Yarborough went 1-2 last year at ACC's. His only win over Jace Palmer, who's now in the consolation bracket for UNC. Santaniello trying to make something happen on the offensive end in the third period. Yarborough this year getting that first round bye as the 2 seed.
Folks at home know the routine. With 3 NCAA qualifiers, you win your semifinal match, you know you are dancing in the NCAA tournament. So a lot of times there's a little extra celebration early in the day because they know that. And of course they also know they'll return for the great run out at 7 o'clock at night. One of the key highlights of being here or watching it on TV is all the fanfare around the championships.
Yeah, it's always good to see.
Extra wrestling to decide who moves on to the finals at 133.
Those final matches are really huge, and you see that NCAAs as another takedown comes for Arini. Secures the riding time point as well, so looks like he's going to punch his ticket into the finals. And will have a chance to repeat as ACC champ at 133. Already in overtime for Latona and Yarborough.
And a matchup on mat 1. Meanwhile, a dominant performance there from Kai as the junior has clinched yet another spot in the NCAAs. It'll be the 3rd time in a row. And there it goes.
There's the classic.
Yep.
The Kai special. Loves doing it. He loves to get the crowd home or away. As we're looking now, Latona Yarborough in overtime, that first overtime, so it's sudden victory right now. Who's going to punch their ticket to the NCAAs? Whoever loses still has a shot with 3 AQs, but they have to wrestle back into it. Whoever wins right now, hey, they can breathe easy. They know what's coming. They know they're in the NCAAs, and then they got to switch their focus to tonight.
Meanwhile, mat 2, just so you know, that'll be 141, where there's 3 NCAA qualifiers. The superstar that is Cole Matthews, your #1 seed, will take on McNeil, who had a 12-3 win to advance to the matchup against Matthews. 141 also has 3. Right now, eyes are heavily focused, though, on mat 1 as they're in overtime, and they got a scramble going on right now with 20 seconds remaining in overtime.
Yeah, and Yarborough's fully on top of an extended Latona. Great job by Latona, works back to his base. Yarborough with the heavy hips. You can tell both these guys are really tired. They're gonna let it go to the double overtime period.
That's going to be the plan, and we have seen multiple double overtimes here early doors.
2 more minutes of neutral wrestling later. Marlon Yarborough of Virginia wins the flip and will choose down for the Cavaliers.
I'm excited for what's to come on mat 2. Lachlan McNeil and Matthews, a huge match. They've seen each other multiple times in their careers. It's always close. Matthews has gotten the better of McNeil a couple times, but McNeil was a top 5 wrestler at the time this season and has only really dropped because of the time he's missed. Yarbrough still in the circle. Saying it's a stall point given to Yarbrough. And Latona looked up at the official, wondering why. But he still has the other 30 seconds to try and even it up or get the win himself. Because he's on bottom, the goal is going to be to get the escape point, even it up at 2, and then go from there.
See, they're holding up the 141 matchup with all eyes on this double overtime matchup between Latona and Yarbrough, the second.
Here's Yarbrough almost getting back points on Latona. Now a scramble. And Yarbrough with a huge move. Not enough time to get back points, but gets even. Latona gets the point instead. And a brick thrown.
Wow.
So a challenge here. The block hits the mat. Coach Garland was on the mat. Came in the middle of that circle. Official had to tell him to go back to the corner, but he throws the brick. He wants the challenge. He thought Yarbrough had the takedown. So let's take another look. And honestly, he even had back points there for a second. I don't know if it was enough for 2 swipes to get him 2 points, but the initial ruling is an escape. Let's go all the way through it. So there's that big takedown, or what they think is not a takedown. To be honest, looking at it, I don't see anything that would make that a takedown. It's definitely a huge swing to put him on his back, but Yarbrough was not able to keep him on his back. So the officials agree, and it's Latona getting the point. I think that's the right call. I did not see anything that would make that a takedown. It was definitely a scary moment. And it's Latona who comes away with the win in overtime. Jack on the other side is going to be great to watch as well. These are 4 very good wrestlers. 141, I think maybe the tightest weight class here from top to bottom. Matthews trying to repeat and get another championship, 2-time ACC champ. Lachlan McNeil just in his 2nd year.
So here we go, Matthews and McNeil at 141, where the ACC has 3 automatic qualifiers.
Last year it was Cole Matthews as an ACC champ, and Lachlan McNeil getting 3rd, so both qualified. McNeil was a 10 seed at NCAAs. Got a win against Cole Matthews from Michigan. In the tournament, finished 4th. So both these wrestlers good enough to go deep in the NCAA tournament.
I mentioned Coach Gavin winning the title, but they also have 3 past multiple-time ACC wrestling champions on their coaching staff in Bonacorsi, Thomas, and Wenzel. That's a lot of talent on the coaching staff for Pitt.
Pitt has a great history. A lot of good wrestlers have come through there. Like you said, the recruiting geographically works really well for them as well. And obviously, it's a great culture. Guys keep wanting to come back and help out and make that program as McNeil tries to set up the low single. Matthews gets to that underhook. Matthews 4-0 in ACC wrestling this year. McNeil and him in a decision match earlier this year. McNeil on the other side has not gotten an ACC win, 0-4. They were all close, but just wasn't able to get over that hump. So you see there, 18-5, 4 of those losses coming in ACC wrestling.
You mentioned the history, but you do got to give Coach Keith Gavin credit, because 12 of Pitt's 19 ACC wrestling individual champs have actually been coached by Keith Gavin. So he has brought a lot with him back to his alma mater.
Well, if you look at that national qualifier or national champion list of Pitt, you were either coached by Gavin or you were Gavin.
Well said.
Matthews with that front headlock. NC State fans getting into it with Jack on that one. He's up 3-0. There's Matthews starting to change levels. 30 seconds left in that first period. Starting to make something happen.
The sophomore from Tampa, Florida, makes it 3-1 Jack on mat number 1.
Going up and down. Got to change your levels. Kind of finding that art of deception, getting to the angle you want.
Final seconds counting down. 141. Definitely an area where I think we could get some at-large from the ACC. There's 4 ACC wrestlers ranked pretty high. Check that out.
Yeah, you see there, McNeil was 5th, Ryan Jack 4, Cole Matthews 14, Tom Crook 16. All 4 of these guys wrestling right now. And that's the thing, Lachlan McNeil, he's coming in as the 4 seed. He was 0-4 in ACC, but overall, as nationally, a very highly ranked wrestler. He's been 5th all year. Those losses have never deterred Intermat from lowering him. They know how good he is. And it's the same thing when you talk to Tony Ramos, who's coached him his whole time here at UNC, the associate head coach of the Tar Heel program. He goes with him internationally to Canada when he has to do things for the Team Canada to qualify for the Olympics. And he says, we don't worry about Lachlan. We know he can go out and beat anyone, any day.
He's got the 1-0 lead with 90 seconds remaining in the second. Jack with the 3-1 lead over Crook. Jack trying to make it 3 straight years to the NCAAs.
This is often how the matches between Matthews and McNeil start off. They're both very good at defending each other. They also know each other's styles. There's some blood coming from Matthews there, and gets a stoppage while they clean that up.
Jack had Crook in really big trouble over on mat 1.
Doesn't get any back points there as Matthews gets cleaned up.
We're obviously showing you some blood work on mat 2, but mat 1, there we go. Yeah, Jack. Pat Papalizio wanted more back points. In fact, he was up screaming for it.
This is just an observation from me. It seems officials have been slower to start awarding back points. There's been some situations today where I felt they could probably start swiping, but they've been a little slower to get to it. They're the professionals at it. I'll let them stick to being the officials, but we haven't seen a lot of back points given today. Great job by Matthews using that fake shot. Gets McNeil off balance, even if it's for a split second. With these guys, you have to capitalize on the slightest misstep because they're both so good and so talented. With McNeil with the 1-0 lead. 15 seconds left now in the second period.
10-2 lead for Jack over on mat 1. We got a tight one here on mat 2.
Looks like it's going to need a little more blood work. It's the lip. Looks like it's the lower lip of Matthews. Seems to be a little red, but Yeah, this is setting up for a really fun third period between McNeil and Matthews. No one's really been able to get in on a leg. No crazy shots just yet. The one point that has been the difference has been McNeil getting the escape. I believe it should be Matthews on bottom when we start, depending on the decision.
Matthews riding high. He's won 7 in a row heading into this, and you nailed it. He'll start down, and obviously McNeil will have his hands full to try to keep.
So now Matthews trying to even it up at 1-1. McNeil trying to see how much riding time he can stack up. That riding time in this match could definitely come into play.
There it is. Okay, so there's the 1 point. So we are tied at 1. And you nailed it, Nick. Riding time.
Could be a difference here. But also, one of them has to control it. Right now, in that neutral position, see there, Jack and Crook at 10-5. Jack's really controlled that match. He's trying to repeat one of those highly ranked NC State wrestlers, as so many of them are, and he adds an under 3.
Jack's so quick. He's so much fun to watch. Just so quick.
When you get to these guys who are so talented, they're just like the slickest wrestlers. They can do things that just look so easy to execute, and they're doing it against guys who are really, really good wrestlers, and so impressive to watch. Seeing who's going to punch their ticket here. A close one on mat 2. Looks like Jack's going to qualify for NCAAs once again. Trying to punch his ticket in the finals. Crook's going to need a pin, more than likely, if he wants to move on to the finals.
3 years in a row for Jack. Head to the NCAAs.
Into that third period, so another overtime match here on mat 2. McNeil and Matthews, the only points scored right now are escape points. When they've been in neutral, nothing's happened just yet. There haven't been any scrambles, really no one getting in on a leg. Both are counter-attacking to the other. Matthews going low for a shot. Be surprised, honestly, with the way this has gone, to not see this go into double overtime. Both these guys so good at defending each other.
Cole Matthews, the captain, redshirt senior out of Greenville, PA, Reynolds High School.
McNeil in on that underhook. Matthews quick to escape. Almost a duck by McNeil. Matthews trying to counter with the throw by himself. Double underhooks for McNeil, but it goes out. 1:15 in OT. Coach Ramos being very vocal in the green corner for North Carolina and McNeil.
Matthews beat McNeil 6-2 back on February 9th.
Got to call that match as well. It was a very good one for Matthews. Got him kind of back on track after he was having a down year at the time. 15-9, that's not a normal record for him. McNeil gets in on the low single. First scramble we've seen between these two. Who can come away with it? This could be a huge switch. McNeil's got to keep a hold of that leg. If he goes down here, it's 3 points, and that's it for Matthews. He gets the win. He moves on to the finals.
Wasn't easy for him, though. Give McNeil credit. But Matthews has done it again. The redshirt super senior.
Yeah, that scramble, whoever got out of that scramble was going to get the win, more than likely. And McNeil just got into a bad
3, convincing win over Papsy out of Duke. So here we go on mat 2, Henson and Solomon.
Finn Solomon, a very good wrestler as well. He was at NC State a year ago.
2 automatic qualifiers at 149 for the ACC as you're watching the 2024 ACC Wrestling Championships. Mat 2 coverage right here on ACC Network Extra. Dean Linke with Nick Cross, Paul Bean producing, Joe Ferrara directing. Great replays from Thomas Mahler and Hayden Brown. Tanner Phipps and Anthony Hennig has also done great work. Camera operators Ryan Gibbons, Chris Ross, and Mark Dry. The rest of our crew here on mat 2, Kevin Tucker, Nick Forbes, Tim Arms, and Aman Patel. It's all hands on deck at North Carolina here for the ACC Wrestling Championships. Good little spin right there. Still searching for points.
Henson in on the leg. Solomon keeping it away right now. Henson's flattened out at the moment. There he goes, gets the leg, using the strength. Solomon still reaching back. Looks like he might have the wizard in, and they're gonna bring it back to the middle. Potentially dangerous with that arm in for Solomon. Henson obviously know how good he is, a 2023 All-American, an ACC champ at 149. Those star wrestlers for Virginia Tech, and been so good this year, capitalizing on last year, just one loss coming into ACCs.
Henson beat Solomon 10-6 during the regular season in a duel.
Yeah, Solomon with the same record as his teammate Cole Matthews, 15-9 on the year. He was 2-3 in ACCs with wins over Joffrey and Papsy. The losing decisions, all 3 decisions to Henson, Arrington, and Scott. Just a decision loss shows he's right there in it.
Henson, a sophomore from Cartersville, Georgia, and Woodland High School.
Solomon's got control of the neck. There you see Henson just trying to pry his hands from there to get free.
Also has 3 tech calls and 1 hit.
Go back to the tie-up. This is that tough hand fighting I've talked about a couple of times. Both these guys not giving an inch at the end of the first period. Still 0-0. Henson got in on the leg that one time, but Solomon's defended, stayed ready. 4 seed showing up a good fight there in the first period against the 1 seed.
Solomon, as we mentioned, lost to Henson. He has since won his last 2 headed into the ACC championships here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Henson starting on top there, goes cross body grab, got the tight waist as well.
Solomon had to work for his win over Joffrey, 15-11.
Yeah, Solomon, a guy who easily could go either way. He's 2-3 in the ACC. There were some of those matches that he could potentially be 4-1, and he could also be 1-4. He's been able to win some of those 50-50 matches. But then he's right up there with Scott, Arrington, and Henson. Scott and Arrington on mat 1 right now. It's a 4-1 lead for Arrington. riding time over a minute now for Henson. Solomon with a nice switch there. Got to get up, get the escape point. He does.
1 point on the purpose.
So 1-0 lead for Solomon with 50 seconds remaining in the second. Alongside Nick Foss, I'm Dean Linky, Mat 2 coverage. ACC Network Extra, ACC Wrestling Championships, Chapel Hill.
There's Henson finally getting that first takedown, just getting in on the low single, brings it up into the armpit with the trip. And now he can add on to that riding time now with a 2-point lead as second period starts to wind down. Be aware, 5 seconds left. They probably won't give a stall warning right now for Solomon. They'll just let the period end. He waits on it, and there. The whizzer in for Solomon, but the second he loses that, that's where they get up into that standing position, and Solomon's hopping on one leg. Then you just take out that leg, put him on the ground, and as he's falling down, you can reposition and get the takedown there, as Henson does so well.
So 3-1 lead as we head to the third. Coach Roby is in the Virginia Tech corner. 17th season at Tech, 8th season as the head coach. As a head coach, 7th total season at Tech as the head coach. Where at Tech was 64-18. He was a 2-time All-American from Edinburgh University, where he graduated in '97. Arrington, meanwhile, with a convincing 7-1 lead, Nick, over on Mat 1.
Yeah, Arrington, very high-ranked wrestler. Figured he'd come out, do very well here at ACC's, be a guy to contend with Henson. Scott, now with under 2 minutes left in the third, gonna have to make something happen. But like you said, he's down 5. 3-point takedown makes it 7-5. If he can do that quick, he's right in there. Solomon still fighting right now in a scramble with Henson with riding time. That'll make it a 5-1 lead. So Solomon needs more than a takedown to get even with Henson now. Stall brings it back to neutral. Nothing was progressing from that scramble position. And then that one, you get a stalemate as well, and the riding point makes it 5-1. Henson over Solomon. That'll be awarded once it concludes. Now if Solomon can get free, he still needs more than 3 points, which time's starting to run out on that, and Henson makes it a definitive win, adding on 3 more points to make it 7-1 and finish it out. The 1 seed moves on.
So Henson will be headed to the NCAA Championships, and he'll be featured tonight 7 o'clock for the ACC Wrestling Championships. We'll crown another team title and 10 individual titles, as well as the most outstanding wrestler, which is always special to walk out of here with that one.
A similar situation was happening at Mat 1. Scott had the whizzer in, just lost it. Arrington put it into the high single, finished off the takedown, makes it 10-2 with 9 seconds left. He should be moving on as well. So the final matchup will be Henson against Arrington at 149. But as you just said, both those guys also punching their ticket to NCAAs.
Getting ready on Mat 2, as you see Arrington trying to close out the final 7 seconds and punch his ticket to the NCAAs. Tonight's championship matchup at 149. So Arrington gets it done. The NC State Wolfpack faithful get it going. And here at Mat 2, we're getting ready for 157, where they've got 2 qualifiers, including And here we go. So Sonny Santiago, the #1 seed for UNC. You saw a bit of Sonny this year. What do you like about him, Nick?
I've loved his wrestling. I've loved his relentlessness. He never gives up. He's won multiple matches late. That's how he got the best of NC State's Ed Scott. He's gotten the best of a few very good wrestlers this year. He's the highest seeded wrestler for UNC at this year's ACCs. Something that I don't think anyone expected, but he's been fantastic. They wanted to build on the success he's had. Coach Ramos said, and Coach Cole just wanted to keep on helping him get better after those momentum wins kept stacking up, and it's resulted in a first seed in the ACCs, and it's going to be fun to see what he does. See that 13-7, not the record that'll hop off the page, but he's 4-1 in the ACC wrestling schedule. Excuse me, 4-0 the ACC schedule.
2 NCAA qualifiers at 157, so 2 wrestlers at 157 side by side will punch their ticket to the NCAAs. Ed Scott at NC State has a lead over Bryce Andonian from Virginia Tech. Nope, Matt 1, it's just 3-2 now though. Still zeros between Sonny Santiago and Jared Kessler.
That Andonian match and Scott also could be a really good one. Getting to the semifinals, and this is where it gets really fun. You see some really good wrestling guys just fighting with everything they got to try and get to the NCAA tournament. It's where it really picks up and be a really great time. And even in the consolations with some of those 4 automatic qualifier weight classes, even 3, those are going to be hard matches as well, because that's the last ditch effort.
Kessler 13-14 on the season. He had 3 tech falls in favor, 1 against. Also had 2 pins for, 1 against. Talking about pits, Jared Kessler.
Tied up here in the first. There's Santiago going in for the first shot we see. Slipped out by Kessler. Like that from Kessler. Rather than just hop up and allow control for Santiago, he just dashes out, pulls the foot free, gets back into this neutral position on a 50-50 tie-up.
Sonny Santiago beat Jared Kessler not that long ago, February 9th. By a score of 11-4.
Maybe the first Santiago being more the aggressor. 2 attacks for him in that first period. Santiago choosing to be down, trying to get the escape point, something you'll see a lot. Can put him up 1-0, and then if you get a takedown after that, you're up 4, which means you're at least 2 moves away from your opponent catching up to you if you can get that escape and a takedown.
Santiago gets the escapes. He's got the 1-0 lead. While Scott up over Andonian on mat 1. 4-2. It's worth mentioning because right now 2 AQs at 157 for the ACC.
Kessler got in a good spot there. He had the underhook, dropped down for just a moment, couldn't get to the leg of Santiago, who evaded well. 4 tech falls and 2 majors, as just announced here at Carmichael for Santiago on the year. Kessler gets to that low single, but the moment it happens, called out to bring it back to the center with 1:04 left in the second period. These are 2 very strong wrestlers. A lot of strength needed to hand fight and be in these tie-ups with these guys while they fight for hand control. Good shot from Kessler. It's like we've seen so far today, Dean, with these close matches. When you get two really good wrestlers, this is usually what you're going to see. It's 1-0, it's 2-0 because, you know, they can't get in on the other guys. Santiago now finally getting in on that leg, and there's the takedown to make it 4-0. And then they immediately get a point for Kessler, possibly on the escape. I saw the one with the green go.
Yeah, they gave it to him. Good call.
4-1, the score from match number 2 as they reach the end of the second period.
There's a good job by Santiago. See, just drops his level, and that's just him using his strength to get in. Drops pretty quickly on Kessler, is able to get just enough in on the leg, then he switches from the double to the single and gets around. As Kessler starting to feel the fatigue here, goes for the funk roll right off the bat to try and loosen up the grip of Santiago.
A 4-3 lead right now for Ed Scott of NC State.
Another point for Kessler. Puts himself in a decent spot here. He's got to make something happen though.
Kessler with a chance to get a takedown, be up one. Riding time will not affect this one. Only 13 seconds right now for Santiago. Needs to be over a minute to add the point. If you're Santiago, just keep being the aggressor, keep attacking, but also be smart. You don't want to put yourself into a bad position. On the stall there, and actually it's the official. You'll hear that a lot. You actually hear them if you can pick it up on Matt's mic sometimes. You'll hear them, no interlocking fingers, something they watch for a lot because, you know, it's very easy to sadly get a broken finger or something like that. It can be very dangerous.
You'll also hear a lot of Wolf Pack even here in Chapel Hill because Coach Papalizio has built a powerhouse at NC State as they look to win 6 straight ACC titles and 21 overall. And Coach Pops, that'll be his 7th. So for him to have 33% of the ACC titles in short order is pretty impressive.
Donian and Scott in a great match here. And now it's in crunch time on mat 2. Kessler's got to get going if he wants to try and get a win. 7 seconds. Need a shot.
Santiago in pure defense mode and does enough. So Santiago is headed to the NCAAs. Congratulations to the Tar Heels. Sonny Santiago.
So now we switch our attention to Antonian and Scott. Antonian down by 4 with a minute left in the third. Riding time only at 19 seconds. See what Antonian can do. And it looks like Scott's just going to add to that lead. Another 3 points. Trying to set up an Ed Scott Santiago rematch. That one was a huge match in Raleigh. Watch that one on ACC Network. It's a huge late win for Santiago, so that could set up a really fun match in the finals tonight at 7.
Virginia Tech and NC State, doesn't matter where they are in the bracket, when those two go at it, it is noisier than can be. As these two have become heated, yet I think it's fair to say respected rivals.
Definitely a lot of respect there. Scott just keeps it going.
Wolfpack making all kinds of noise, and Scott has clinched a spot in the NCAAs. At 1 will punch their ticket to the NCAAs. NCAAs.
And you mentioned here at 165, one less wrestler than all the other weight classes, with Gaetano Console for Duke going up to 174. So on the other side with Brady and Heller, so that changes who's going at it.
Fields, the #1 seed, and again, 165 was the heavy focus for Coach Pops. He's a redshirt sophomore from Brunswick, Ohio, Brunswick High School, and it was the only spot a year ago that NC State didn't fill at the NCAAs.
Yeah, Fields reached third place. He's got a lot of international success. Made the third place bout at the 74 kilograms at the 2022 U20 World Team Trials. That's all freestyle, obviously a little different than folk style. Guys often do get tripped up sometimes, switching back and forth. Fields so good at both.
He's had a big time year where he won a ton in a row, actually won 12 in a row before finally losing to Connor Brady just by 2 in his last match.
Yeah, Brady on the other mat right now going against Holden Heller. They're wrestling for the first time today as both of them got buys as the 3 and 2 seeds. Hamilton had to wrestle his way. This is the Virginia Tech fans that you're starting to hear. Hamilton has a whizzer in on Fields, but Fields get to the single leg. You see there Hamilton grabbing his shin.
Oh, I thought he had it. Well, there he did. He did get some takedown point. No, they took him off. I thought he had him, but then he bounced like off his back, didn't he?
Yeah, no takedown there. He gets him to the mat, but that's not all you need for the takedown. Got to complete it. So you see here, there's the whizzer in for Hamilton. Hamilton loses it here. There's the trip, but he bounces off of him, as you said. And it was, you see the official saying, no, it was not controlled. Fields did not control it or have the takedown. Instead, Hamilton able to get back up.
Good breakdown. 30 seconds remaining in the first.
You get to see a different style. Hamilton likes that 3-point stance. He likes to drop down into it. Comfortable there, taking away, bringing Fields down to his level.
Fields beat Hamilton 11-7, February 9th, to improve his record to 13-2. As the final seconds counting down in the first, as we go to the second, Coach Pops talked about he had 4 wrestlers at NC State truly battling every day in practice to see who was going to represent NC State at this all-important weight class.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about what Pop has built at NC State is they have depth now. He likes to be too deep at every single weight class. And sometimes they go even deeper. So it's a battle in that wrestling room, and that's one of the unique things about wrestling is you're a team. NC State's trying to complete a great feat with 6 straight ACC titles as a team, but at the same time, you're competing every day.
Connor Brady, the 3 seed, with a pretty impressive lead over on mat 1, 8-1. As you see the score here on our coverage on mat 2.
Hamilton, following his first round victory, now taking 7-8.
So now Hamilton with the 1 escape point for the 1-0 lead over Fields, an early lead over the 1 seed.
Hamilton with a major against Carolina's Estrada. 14-2 to take on Fields. As you mentioned, with Conso moving up to 174, both Brady and Heller get the bye, and so they know going in, all right, cool, I just got to win 1, and I make it to the NCAAs where anything can happen.
Exactly, just got to get in. You never know what could happen then as Hamilton gets to the leg. excuse me, Fields gets to the leg of Hamilton. Hamilton has the whizzer in, also reaching back, trying to make it hard on Fields, pushing his shoulder down on top of the head. Doesn't want to let Fields get that arm free and get to that other ankle. That would give him the 3 points. A stalemate called by the official to bring it back to neutral.
The NCAAs will be held March 21 through 23 at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. And if you've been watching the last several years, no matter where they put it, it's been big arenas, and they have been packed.
They are. It's a growing sport. Also, those big name schools, their fans travel very, very well. You see Virginia Tech's fans all year. Obviously, NC State didn't have very far to go. But wrestling, their fans are very dedicated. It's a very tight-knit community. A sport where the fans really do care about it and about the athletes.
A slim lead for Hamilton with 4 seconds remaining in the second. Meanwhile, Brady through 2 with an 8-1 lead over Heller. So Connor Brady with a big lead for the Hokies.
Yeah, it's interesting looking at those top 3 seeds with Heller lost to Fields, but Fields lost to Brady, but Brady lost to Heller. All 3 of them went 4-1 on the ACC schedule.
So who knows, maybe this is where they get an at-large spot, as Brandon Neff, the associate commissioner, does an amazing job for ACC wrestling. Told us beforehand right here that he was hoping for at least 6. He almost felt like 5 were guaranteed, 6 would be a good situation. That's what I heard. Did you hear that?
I tend to agree, but based on what he said and the 28 automatic qualifiers that the ACC already got, adding on about 5 of those, potentially 6, depending on how guys wrestle today. Definitely could be out of 165, but especially those 3 we just mentioned. Hamilton's doing a great job to stay in this one with Fields, keeping it at 1-1. Fields gets in on the leg, but Hamilton just heavy on the hips, keeps it at arm length, and almost gets to the leg. Great timing on that shot.
Good job by our crew. Paul Bean and Joe Farrar, producer and director, giving us the 2-box here. And it's fair because the 2 winners, not only will they be featured Saturday night, but they will be headed to Kansas City, Missouri at the T-Mobile Center.
Yeah, Brady up big right now. Looking like he's going to head to the finals unless Heller can make something happen late. Fields Hamilton could come down to the wire, possibly another overtime here on mat 2. It's been overtime central here.
Love the 2-box, 30 seconds left there. I actually was in Barcelona with the U.S. soccer team in the Olympics when the Dream Team was there. Today we got the Beam team with Paul Beam leading the charge.
Beam just attracting these overtime late matches. We've gotten quite a few today. Could have another one. Hamilton battling back as Brady gets the win on mat 1. So who's going to face Virginia Tech's Brady at 165 for the ACC final? We're going to need overtime to figure it out.
We have had a lot of overtime matches here through the first round and the semifinals.
I think it shows how close a lot of these wrestlers are in skill, but even not just that, how hard they're fighting right now. They know how much this means. This is the ACC's. It means a lot to both these wrestlers. It means a lot to everyone who gets the opportunity to be here. Trying to get to a final.
So as you saw as part of our 2-box coverage, Connor Brady, congratulations, as he will represent Virginia Tech at the NCAAs in Kansas City, March 21 through 23. Pretty much wall-to-wall coverage.
Hamilton's trying to pull off a pretty big upset here. to get Fields, the 1 seed, out in semis. Possibly setting up a UVA Virginia Tech final. Either way, you're getting a rivalry with NC State and Virginia Tech as well. Hamilton gets the control, trying to snap him down.
There's a minute left, so plenty of time to get this done here. You score, you win. Now they reset. Fields deals with the shot.
Risky there from Hamilton with the counter defensive Fields, but pushed out. 46 seconds left. Both these guys being aggressive, attacking, trying to get this done before double overtime. Then we go into those 30-second periods that we've seen today.
Yeah, Hamilton, I thought maybe he would step back because, as you mentioned, it was semi-risky. And by stepping back, he then this time dealt with what Fields brought. But I feel like now we are looking perhaps at a second overtime. I'm not sure. Still plenty of time left.
Still 30 seconds. It's enough to get a takedown, but with the way these two guys are wrestling,
just feels that way.
We haven't seen a takedown yet. Don't know if he'll give one up now with 20 seconds left. All eyes on this match right now. They're holding off the 174 until this one starts. Hamilton's got wrist control, but we're going to go to double overtime.
Overtime coming to you now at 174, by the way, as Nick Kloss did a good job pointing out the heavier weights. The ACC so strong, they'll send 4.
So Fields defers the coin toss after winning it, gives the decision to Hamilton. Hamilton wants to be down to try and get that early escape point.
Fields, good job spreading the legs there for a moment by Hamilton, then spins through, trying to get up. The crowd getting fired up here.
You want to know if there's a problem with the officiating or if NC State doesn't like it, they'll let you know. You'll hear it.
Yeah, Coach Pop's not afraid to stand up and be heard, and the entire coaching staff for NC State.
The fans are going to have their back. Fields gets back even, so Hamilton gets the escape point, makes it 2-1. They'll take it to the second 30-second period. So now Fields is going to be down. He'll try to get an escape point. Latona, an earlier weight class, saw a very similar match to this one. Same exact score, 2-1 going into that final 30.
The lift there from Hamilton. Fields responds. You can see the Wolfpack faithful trying to, and here, get behind Fields. Fields needs to break loose, gets up, scrambling, and it goes out of bounds. He's only got 14 seconds left to do it now, Nick Kloss.
Hamilton's got a ride for his life. This has to be the hardest he's ever gone here, as a brick thrown by
Pops,
NC State,
yeah.
by Pop.
Did he think he had the...
He might have, I think he feels he had the escape.
Yeah.
And that should be the 1 point, so we'll get another review. I actually just referenced back, and they're actually looking at a locked hand sequence. So we'll have to get another look here. Hamilton was around at the ankles. And in my opinion, all I'm seeing is Fields gets up, tries to drive that single leg. It's out right there, which should just reset back in the middle. I'd be shocked if we see something else, and that call does stand. So we're staying right where we are, 2-1. Go back to the middle. Fields should be down, and he will be. He's got 14 seconds to get out. Hamilton, 14 seconds of riding. and he has a spot in the finals and a big upset here at the ACC. Is probably the biggest we've seen so far.
Speaking of Virginia Tech, we will have the super talented Mekhi Lewis on mat 2 at 174.
Just got to keep going. Hamilton does it.
Wow, that is huge. Hamilton is headed to Kansas City. That's huge.
That's a huge win, a huge upset. Fields has been such a dominant wrestler this year, 15-3 on the season, 4-1 in ACC. And a great job there by Hamilton, 9-7 on the year. He was 2-3 in ACCs, and he's going to the finals. A Virginia Tech UVA matchup at 165.
They'll send 4, and we've got Lewis on mat 2 taking on Faison from NC State. Faison, rather.
Is another guy that you just love to watch. You're excited to watch. I mean, what he's done. He's got a 62-5 overall record. 2019 NCAA championship, most outstanding wrestler, 4th at nationals last year. Just such an accomplished wrestler at 65 and 174. Been a national finalist at both of those weight classes, which is so impressive to do. Then you got Faison, who is a guy who lost to Mekhi Lewis, getting 2nd at ACCs last year. That was a double overtime match, so we could be in for another really good one here on mat 2, back-to-back.
Like I mentioned, it's my 10th season, so Mekhi Lewis won his first ACC title at the Castle in front of the incredible Virginia Tech fans, and then took that and rolled it all the way to an NCAA title. We interviewed him live during that time after winning that ACC title in front of the Castle faithful, and they were absolutely loving this young man.
So Lewis's headgear seemed to have a snap there. So now you're going to see Tyler Eichens and McCoy, Justin McCoy from UVA. Eichens, a transfer from Stanford, up 3-0. Going up against the 3-time NCAA qualifier in McCoy.
I think it's worth mentioning again, we just witnessed Nick Hamilton do something huge as he is qualified for the NCAA Division I Wrestling Championship with what you called even beforehand a big upset, right?
That's the biggest upset we've seen today. A 4 taking down a 1, especially Hamilton, who 9-7 on the year. Like, didn't have the craziest record. You know, was a guy we thought maybe could come in and definitely get to the semis, maybe get 3rd place, but now he's sitting in the finals with a potential chance to take on Brady and maybe make another upset. Who knows, maybe be an ACC champ. Looks like the headgear of Lewis still not fully fixed. And also for Fields of NC State back to the 165 weight, he now gets a bye to the 3rd place match in the 165 weight class. He'll take Heller or Estrada. Try and take 3rd at ACCs.
Lewis winning that ACC title in 2019 and then went on to win the national championship. That is at 165. Finished 2nd in 22 and then 4th a year ago.
Yeah, he was the 2019 and 2022 ACC Wrestler of the Year. So obviously 2020 and 2021 in between those. So 2 years where didn't see the same success, but still very good, obviously. But 2022 came back into the form as the best wrestler in the ACC.
I think he may have taken one of those years off. Not positive about that. I think he may have.
A lot of guys take years to focus on international wrestling or take a break, and that's why you do see some wrestlers, some of the guys here in their 6th year.
Lewis with a 9-2 win as part of his 13-0 record this year over Faison for NC State. Right now we're still at zeros.
Yeah, Lewis yet to lose this year, so Faison wouldn't just be an upset, it'd be a big upset, and it would also take down the #2 rated wrestler in the country at 174, give him his first loss of the year.
Meanwhile, Mat 1, we can tell you that the 1 seed McCoy is trailing the Tar Heels 3 seed 3-1.
Yeah, it's Tyler Eichens. He's in his final year of eligibility. Came to Chapel Hill in October to visit because he hadn't decided he wanted to use his final year of eligibility. He thought, he's a big Greco guy, thought he was going to go do that. Instead comes and wrestles for Coach Cole, and finally getting a backup headgear for Lewis, who's had to put it back on a couple of times.
Kyle Lewis, the senior from Somerset, New Jersey, Brownbrook High School.
Right as we say that, McCoy ties it up 3-3. Faison gets the caution one step too early. Just a warning. We start the second period.
Team captain for NC State, Faison. Union Pines High School out of Whispering Pines, North Carolina. He did qualify for the NCAAs last year.
There's the first point. In this match, Lewis breaks the grip and gets free.
Lewis, a 7th-year senior from Somerset, New Jersey, 13-0 this year.
You'll just see how fast Lewis is. He really is. When you watch him wrestle, if you're trying to get better, he's such a great guy to watch. He's one of the best to do it.
Lewis, a national champion. Back in
He just moves in a different way. How quick he is, the way he can change levels.
including twice defending at 174.
Lewis, three-time ACC champion.
Two-time ACC Wrestler of the Year. Taking on the returning
Faison doing a good job to stick with him right now. Keeping at just a point difference, defending well, not allowing Lewis to get to that angle or leg that he's really searching for.
It's just a 1-0 lead as Lewis looking for more. Turns into a single leg.
Good job by Lewis dragging him back into the mat. Doesn't want to allow Faison to use that to his advantage. Good pull through. Gets the 3 points. Gives him the 4-0 lead.
Yeah, that was perfectly orchestrated, as you mentioned. Not only the pullback, but then the 3 points for the takedown. 4-0.
Yeah, he got that single, pulls him back in because he doesn't allow Faison to escape out the mat, reset back to the middle, then it neutralizes the whole situation. Instead, pull him back in, keep him inbound so you can capitalize on the work you just did to get that leg. Now he'll step out to take the break, and at the end of the second period, see where the decision goes and get another look at the single leg. Has it there, the wizard put in by Faison. Could have tried to escape out, drags him back, and that's when he's able to pull him by and just get right behind for an easy 3 points.
Yeah, that was textbook because you got the drag and then you got the leg spread that was allowed to get his body on top for the 3. So a 4-0 lead as we start the third period. Mat 2 coverage at 174, where the ACC is absolutely loaded. They have 4 automatic qualifiers.
Lewis almost getting another one, but can't keep the feet in. You could probably write a textbook watching Mekhi Lewis wrestle. Just the way he does everything, it's so well done. It's a guy who's practiced it over and over and over, been in college wrestling for quite some time now. ACC Wrestler of the Year in 2019. Back when he was a national champion at 165.
174 nationwide is pretty loaded, too.
It is very good. And he's #2 in the country. Being that high from the ACC, above a lot of those Big Ten guys, as now he's got the arm bar in. Riding time stacking up, so.
He's got Faison in some trouble here.
And Faison still wrestling pretty well. Getting the point back and riding time. Not just yet guaranteed for Lewis, but a good start on it with 121. There's Faison going in on a leg. Good job to get back. He almost fell to his side. Lewis saw it and tried to capitalize. Faison doing really well to get back to his base. Face up with Lewis.
It's hard to imagine, with all due respect to Faison, Sunday night championship coverage without Mekhi Lewis.
It would be weird. That's the fun of March. Crazy things happen. Now Faison's got to go, so he just secured that riding time point, which is really good for Lewis. Puts this almost out of reach.
He's already had a major 14-0. And there he is, Mekhi Lewis, as expected, will head back again to the NCAAs and look for yet another ACC title. It would be 4 for him.
Now you're getting a look at Ishins, who's now up 5-3 as they get ready to start the third period. There was a review that extended this one. That's why it's not as well timed and lined up with the Lewis Faison match we just watched.
Eventually, we will bring you the 1 seed, Thomas Stewart Jr. from Virginia Tech against Gavin Kane from UNC. But so far, they've done a nice job kind of waiting for each weight class here in the semifinals to conclude. Consolation, normally they'll just keep on buzzing through as they try to hit that 7 o'clock prime time exposure on the ACC network.
So right now Ishin's up by 3, but riding time is only 18 seconds. So a takedown from McCoy through this scramble could even it up at 6-6, sending it to OT. Ishins, good job getting back to the heavy hips, pushes that down. Like I said, Ishin's a guy who actually loves Greco wrestling. That's the main wrestling he likes to do. It's what he wants to train after this. You'll notice he loves going for underhooks, tries to go for tosses. Right now doing well in the scramble with McCoy. He's got 40 seconds.
So McCoy from Virginia.
Ishins is in a really dangerous spot here. He has to release. 3 points.
I think they got that wrong.
They gave it to Ishins right now, but it is 6-6. What you're seeing on your screen right now is correct. Now riding time stacking up the other way, but it won't matter. It's going to go to overtime anyways. Great job by McCoy. Late in that one, it's a scramble to keep it alive here at the ACC. He does what he has to do and ties it up with Ishins. See if UVA can get another wrestler to the finals at after we just saw Hamilton get the big upset. Aishin's trying to wrestle above his seed right now.
I may be wrong, and I don't have the overtime data in front of me, but having done this for 10 years in a row, I don't remember this many overtime matches this early, Nick Klaus.
Yeah, a lot have been happening, and just there, McCoy gets the takedown, and Aishin's, after really controlling that match, loses it in the last couple seconds and loses 9-6. McCoy going to the final.
Four seed. So that'll be our mat 2 coverage, 184.
And this is another one where I don't think the seed matters, because TJ Stewart comes in. He's a redshirt freshman. He was 8-2 last year, 7-1 at 184, 22-7 overall in his career. He's a very good wrestler. He kind of came out of nowhere. People say he reminds him of Mekhi Lewis. And I can totally understand where that's coming from. Kane is a guy I feel like could have had a 1 seed if he had wrestled a lot of the conference this year. Only 3 ACC matches.
See Kane's record there, 17-7, pretty good.
He's a really, really good wrestler. He's 26th in the country. TJ Stewart ranked 17.
Stewart, a redshirt freshman out of Triangle, Virginia, went to Blair Academy.
Kane already hit with the stall warning really early.
4 AQs out of 184. Mat 1 has Fishback, who knocked off Becker, taking on the number 2 seed out of Pitt, Reese Heller. Stewart's shot denied.
Kane was a runner-up at ACCs a year ago, trying to get back to the finals. That's the kind of newcomer in Stewart, who comes in and gets the top seed in his first real year competing as the top spot at 184 for Virginia Tech.
First round victory earlier today by Tech Fall and through to 16-6. That technical fall is 3rd of the year for the Wolfpack, along with a couple of pins and 4 major decisions.
1:10 remaining here in the first. Still no score. Stewart, the 1 seed. Kane, the 4 seed. 4 AQs at 184, just like at 174.
I love watching Gavin Kane wrestle. He's so calm. You never really see him like have happy feet. He's very just calculated. He seems just very centered and calm as he's wrestling, no matter what the situation is. You see Stewart just banging down on his head, but Kane doesn't really get rattled, it seems.
By North Carolina measures, kind of a mild party on Franklin Street last night after North Carolina went into Cameron Indoor and beat Duke for the 2nd time this season in basketball.
Reese Heller, a couple of falls to his credit this year, with 7 technical falls and 4 major decisions.
What a sweep.
Great job there by Stewart to get the 3 points. He's such a strong guy at 184.
Well, he wanted that so bad, right, to wrap up the first period with 3.
Gets to it. Here's another look. Just gets to that low single. Kane can't really do anything about it. He perfectly hooks that leg and brings it down to where Kane has no other option, just has to go down to his stomach. 3-0, and now we'll see what Kane can do on top. Stewart's going to be hard to keep down. Good job there by Kane for the re-return.
How about the athleticism of Stewart, as that was above the knee right there in the final seconds to bring Kane down.
I mean, he's a crazy athlete who's come in this year, really filling in this 184 spot well for Virginia Tech. Just two different body types. Kane being a little longer, having more length on him. Stewart, that short, well-built, stocky build.
Yeah, but it's power in the arms and the legs. Look at the legs on Stewart.
I can't imagine what this man lifts.
1 point on the fitness team. 55 seconds.
Got the escape to make it 4-0. So Kane's got to work his way from behind. Kane did get a win over Stewart earlier this year. Stewart went 2-1. Really no one in 184 wrestling. Ton of matches, some guys getting 4. Brick was just thrown by UNC, so we'll have to see where that review goes. There's Coach Tony Ramos, the associate head coach for the Tar Heels, former All-American at Iowa.
Meanwhile, Matt won Fishback from NC State with a 3-1 lead over Heller.
North Carolina has submitted a coach's challenge. The officials will review the video to see if there was a singlet pull.
Seeing if there was a singlet pulled by Stewart. See if we can find it here. Kane there with the heavy hips. Now the question is, does he just get the hand under and then release, or did he actually pull? It's really the officials' discretion, and they say he did. So they give the point to Kane. So Kane now only down 3 within a takedown to even this up with Stewart.
So nice job by the North Carolina coaching staff to pick up on that.
Yeah, they didn't have the best angle on that either, so really good job for them to see that.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it, get Kane a point, bring him within a takedown.
Midway through the second period on mat number 1, it's a 4-1 margin as well.
Yeah, because it wasn't like I saw Kane communicate.
They were still wrestling, and
it was tossed.
Ramos tossed that brick, so it was definitely something they saw.
So 4-1 on mat 1, Fishback on top, and 4-1 right here in front of us on ACC Network Extra with the #1 seed Stewart on top.
So Kane trying to get an escape here, make it 4-2. If he can, it can make it a really exciting third period. Kane was runner-up the past 2 years, back in 2022 as well, had a 16-6 record. Been a very good college wrestler in his time at North Carolina.
74, 84, and 197. The ACC with 4 AQs in each of those weight classes.
There's the escape. 4-2, riding time at 13 seconds. This is where it could get fun with Kane. Got to keep on attacking, try and getting to his takedowns. Get to the moves he likes. Get to the attacks he likes.
Stewart's going to need to show a little bit of movement here with the 2-point lead.
Yeah, he has to watch the stall warnings. At the same time, Kane needs to go after some Some legs right there. You're starting to see some shots. See if he can get Stewart off balance, and Stewart has to be careful. Not getting the stall. Almost to the leg. There's another warning. He gets another one. He'll get 1 point for Kane.
Yeah, right now it is clear that Stewart's looking to just hang on.
There it is. 1 point for Kane because of that stall. Got a warning now. That one gives the point. So down by 1. Kane's got to go. And another one. Another point ties it up.
Wow.
Stewart stalls again. And really tough for Virginia Tech there. Stewart's got to keep moving. He cannot just keep on backing up. Now he gets to overtime, and Stewart doesn't know. He thinks it's over. He thinks he's won. And now UNC's asking if they should get a point because he took off his ankle wraps to show the colors. So Kane has an advantage right now. Stewart obviously thought he had it won.
Wow, there it is.
Great job by Stewart.
So he clearly didn't realize that that second stall was called.
He felt he still had the advantage, but hey, he put those wraps back on immediately. Goes for the double leg. Just like a bull straight through. Kane drops him down. Gets the win in overtime. A great match for Stewart to punch his ticket to the finals and to the NCAA tournament. Kane still alive though with 4 AQs.
Meanwhile, Gavin has thrown, as it did look like Heller had gotten enough for a takedown, but Fishback pulled it out of bounds. And make no mistake, that is huge because NC State and Virginia Tech in the ACC championships is pretty special. Heller's the 2 seed, but make no mistake, based on what this crowd looks like and the colors, they're hoping for a Fishback versus Stewart matchup in the championship match at 184. I think Gavin may have a legitimate, where you're looking down though, Nick, but it looked like for a moment right there that Heller had gotten around before Fishback had pulled out of bounds. And that's why he threw the green brick.
So there's, yeah, a review going on right now. Here in that Fishback Heller bout.
You and I are blessed because on the flip-flop on the semifinals, based on how it works, we've had some big-time wrestlers. We saw Lewis coming up on 197. We'll have Trent Hidley, who is just an absolute beast. Okay, so they said it was out of bounds. It was so close.
Fishback about 7 seconds from getting that riding time point secured to make it pretty much 5-2. It won't show on your scoreboard, but that's what that point will mean.
Redford freshman from Aurora, Ohio, Aurora High School.
So Heller's got to fight for that takedown. Tries to go for the inside trip. 7 seconds left. Fishback's just going to try and hold that foot in. And they're saying he's getting a takedown, so gets the win with a little extra to make it 7-2.
The former Ohio D2 state champion at 190, where he was 39-0 his senior campaign, and that'll be NC State, Virginia Tech in the championships tonight on ACC Network. Trent Hidley with a 4.0 grade point average, just a phenomenal human being. Pat Papalizio saying he's a little bit different human being in the middle of the mat, but you know that's what the great ones are. But look at that, 3-time ACC champion.
And on the bottom half of the bracket in the semifinal round.
It's like you said, the great ones know when to turn it on. Hidley, a great guy, lives with his brother. They have a house that they got in Raleigh that his parents can come and stay at when they're in town, see their family. Meant so much to this NC State wrestling program, 22-0 in the season.
4-time NCAA All-American, 3-time ACC champion, 21, 22, and 23. 4 times on the All-ACC team. 4-time Scholar Athlete All-American, and was named the 2022 ACC Scholar Athlete of the Year.
And then Max Stout really with a chance to test himself here in the ACCs. Coming up after Nino Bonacorsi. Now trying to make his mark. He was a big wrestler in Pennsylvania coming up. 133 and 17 in high school wrestling in Pennsylvania, which is extremely impressive. I mentioned it earlier, one of the hardest states to wrestle in high school.
Hidley beat Stout by a tech fall 20-4 back on January 26th to improve his record to 17-0. As Nick already told you, he is 22-0 on the season.
There's Hidley getting that first takedown.
Hidley up 4-0. He secured his 100th career win on senior night at the home duel against number 13 Virginia.
Perfect example by Hidley on that first takedown. He uses his angles really well. Like you notice on that last one, he didn't shoot. He didn't shoot really. He just got to the angle he wanted. He used that underhook to throw Stout by, such a strong guy, and then just gets behind, bending the arm of Stout behind till it can't go, has to release, gets the 3 points, now up 4-0.
His whole mentality all season long, jumping up to 197, was I'm coming back this year. It's going to be not about cutting weight. It's going to be 100% about wrestling at the highest level. And I'd say 22-0 is a pretty high level.
Definitely is, and he said it's been great not cutting weight. It's been awesome to go into the room and feel good and not worry about it. And makes sense. He goes right back to that underhook on Stout, and it works once again. Thought that would be a takedown. He was waiting for the 3, just like the NC State coaches. But the official brings it back neutral. So it stays at 4-1. Stout with that 1 escape point.
Max Stout on lap number 2, following his first round victory, now 18-5.
So here's another look at that. I thought that was going to be a takedown. He used it again, gets it by, and okay, there it is. Didn't see it there, but in the replay you see the foot of Hidley, the right foot comes out before he fully completes the takedown, and Stout's arm comes out. So good call there. Don't think it was 3 points.
Second period underway. Hidley to his feet quickly. And usually powerful at breaking loose. Tough to pick Hidley up and throw down. Mat 1, Shaw from North Carolina with a 4-1 lead over Andy Smith out of Virginia Tech. I mentioned that. I've told you that Hidley beat Stout by a tech fall. He beat Shaw also by a tech fall, 18-2. And he beat Andy Smith by a tech fall, 18-3. So listen, 4 are coming out of 197, but this is Hidley's weight class for sure.
Oh, he owns it. Doesn't matter if it's 184 or 197, wherever he is, he's probably going to own the weight class.
1 point for Chicago by way of a hit stall on Matt Stout.
So Stout gets called on the stall and gives a point to Hidley.
Number 1. It's a 4-1 lead now for Matt Shaw, who escaped earlier in the second quarter in for North Carolina. In his match with Andy Smith.
Shaw with a lead over Virginia Tech. And so this is one of those deals where the NC State fans are not only pulling for Hidley, but they're keeping an eye on Shaw as well, as Virginia Tech going for 6 ACC championships in a row. They won the regular season by going undefeated.
There's Hidley with the underhook again. So good at that. Just gets in on the underhook. I've said it so many times, wrestling, something people say all the time. It's not like I made it up. It's about angles. You got to get to the angle you want to get to the leg you want. And Hidley is just so good at getting to the underhook and then using that to move to the side of Stout and then just kind of toss him by and get behind him, as now we bring in Mat 1 as well between Shaw and Smith in the third. Stout gets up too, so that's an escape point for him. Hidley stacking up the takedowns. He's a guy to watch for the NCAA tournament. Could be a national champion out of the ACC.
That's how he rolls too. He is a tech fall machine. We got a tight one at Mat 1 though at 197.
I think the thing that really impresses me about Hidley too is he doesn't get tired. He's so well conditioned that he's here getting to the third period, and just like we've seen so many times already in this match, goes right back to what works. Underhook, get him by, keep rotating. That time he uses the right leg, but he's constantly circling. John Smith going back to neutral. Stout gets the escape point, but it's Hidley's match. As he's kind of doing what he wishes right now in this semifinal match. Whoever wins the Shaw-Smith match has to deal with him next.
That's 3 more for Hidley. I mean, at 197, you are talking about a ton of strength within a guy who just, you know, we mentioned the 4.0 as a student, but he brings that same sort of mentality to wrestling, so technically he can do it all.
Well, that's the thing, you can be really, really strong, but Hidley's the better wrestler. He's the better wrestler, and Hidley is the best wrestler in this weight class. Definitely in the ACC, possibly in the country. And now Shaw qualifies for NCAA the 3rd time in his career, and he'll have to go against Hidley in the finals once he finishes out this match, as long as Stout doesn't get a crazy late pin.
Congratulations to Matt Shaw from North Carolina, the 3 seed. He will be featured here in his home Carmichael Arena tonight in the ACC Championships at 197.
I believe the 2nd UNC wrestler today heading to the finals along with Sonny Santiago.
The heavyweights getting ready on Mat 1. 2 NCAA qualifiers at 285. Hidley with an 18-4 lead.
Under, head on head, no rules. No rules, pick a side when you want to, take his foot out. Get ready to take his foot out.
Yeah, and at Mat 1, you mentioned it, getting ready is Katka and Katka, Ryan and Hunter. Hunter, the older brother, just by 1 year. Ryan coming in, transfer from Navy.
And that is wild, right? For years you watch Serena and Venus Williams, but then to see it in wrestling, there's Hidley.
time.
Another
Huge
tech
win there.
fall. Yeah.
His signature raised the roof.
Taking on Max Shaw of North Carolina tonight at 197 pounds. Both
classes where they had 4 AQs. We're back to just 2 automatic qualifiers at 285 or heavyweight in the ACC.
on top half the bracket on mat number 2, the top seed from NC State, Owen Trepid. Taking on the 4 seed from Pittsburgh, David Pinzer.
Owen Treffin, a redshirt junior from Summerville, South Carolina.
The 2 seed from Virginia Tech, Hunter Katka. Taking on the 3 seed from Virginia, Ryan Katka.
2022-23 season, Treffin beat Hunter Katka in overtime to advance to the finals. Qualified for the NCAAs last year and won the ACC title last year.
Yeah, Pitzer, a good challenge for Treffin. Again, he just skates barely by in that first round, but he's a 3-time Pennsylvania State champ. He was 130-3 with 100 pins in high school. So a crazy high school career leads him now to Pitt. Chance to get an upset. Treffin, oh, in on the leg, well done with the first period takedown in a heavyweight matchup. Really quick to get some points. Both of these heavyweights getting points in the first period. Hunter Katka getting 3 on his brother Ryan Katka. Got 1 escape point on mat 1 while this one goes on between Treffin and Pitzer. Treffin stacking up some riding time, getting wrist control right now on Pitzer. He does have 1 leg looped through on the ankle.
Pitzer, the redshirt freshman from Mount Pleasant, PA, did not face Treffin in the regular season.
So mimicking scores now on these 2 mats, 3-1 and 3-1. Treffin in the lead. Treffin got a really good takedown on Pitzer. See if he tries to go back to that single or low ankle pick.
So Hunter Katka, by the way, did have an 8-4 win over his brother in the regular season. He's leading 3-1 on mat 1.
They'll let the first period go out on that one. Treffin gets that first takedown, and see, there's that ankle pick. He keeps his hand on the neck, goes low for the ankle. That gets him close enough. Then he can go in on the single leg and make the finish. The ankle pick is how he got there. Sets it up really well and finishes it to make him up 3-1 now going into the second. He starts on top.
And this is the second time these brothers have met on a collegiate match.
So both mat 1 and mat 2, 3-1. Hunter Katka from Virginia Tech on top of his brother from Virginia, 3-1. And it's NC State's Owen Treffin, the 3-1 lead right here. Now it's 3-2 as Ryan Katka gets 1. For Virginia over on mat 1.
And it continues to mirror. Now Pitzer gets the escape point. He's at 3-2 as well.
Treffin, fifth-year junior from Summerville, South Carolina, 15-5 in the regular season for the Wolfpack, 4-0 in the ACC.
Yeah, Treffin with 3 ranked wins this year. Last year he got 6th at the U23 U.S. World Team Trials, 125 kilograms. Trying to continue the great start he had a year ago for a second straight NCAA qualifier. Adds on another 3 points, getting behind Pitzer for the takedown.
He won 2 matches at the NCAAs last year, finishing 2-2. He got 6-2 on both mats. Hunter Katka, Virginia Tech on that one, trapping right in front of us here. Mat 2, 6-2 lead. He gives one up. 6-3. They're both 6-3.
Do they know what each other's
time.
doing? It really seems like it. It seems like the Katka brothers will do something, and then Treffin just follows his lead.
15 seconds remaining in the second here. Heavyweight semifinals. Setting up who will be featured tonight on ACC Network. Sean Kenny, Tony Robles will be on the call.
Owen Treffin of NC State leads Nathan Pitzer of Pitt by a count of 6-3.
Treffin going into this third period up by 3. Riding time in his favor as well. So Pitzer needs to make something happen, preferably a takedown, and then you can eat into the riding time. So if Pitzer gets him down, he can ride until the riding time is not in Treffin's favor, and it's no point either way. But he's got to get a takedown, and Treffin's doing a really good job. And then he does exactly what we just saw Hidley do. He keeps on rotating, and that's a big way you can get behind, and if you can outlast him, catch him and get another 3 points.
Still Hunter Katka on top of his brother Hunter at Virginia Tech, Ryan at Virginia. And then right here in front of us, 6-3 lead, Treffin. Over a minute remaining in the third.
Bringing that Katka matchup. Right now it's his brother Hunter who has the riding time, but Ryan is cutting into it. Curious to see what their decision is. The UVA coaching staff advising Ryan because he needs a takedown. Now the riding time negated, so can bring in an even score if he gets a takedown, but he's got to let him up.
How fun would it be to hang out with the Katkas on Thanksgiving?
It would be interesting. I'm sure it's interesting. Gotta give a shout out to Sean and Marcy Katka, parents of Ryan and Hunter, as Treffin gets the win on that too. But Sean and Marcy having to watch this one between their 2 sons.
Treffin, chance to do it again with a 7-3 win. Will be featured tonight. That's the other thing you want to do too, is you want to take care of it in the semifinals and just rest and get ready, get refreshed.
You don't have to worry as much, so there's an official review on that one. If you lose in the semifinals, then your immediate mindset turns to, okay, what do I have to do to qualify? What do I have to do to get to the NCAAs? If you win this match, you're automatically in, especially in the 2 qualifiers there. Don't know for certain what this review is right now. Ryan Katka did let Hunter up to make it 7-3.
Consolation semifinals of the ACC Wrestling Championship will begin at 3:30 p.m. Again, 3:30, our scheduled start time of the consolation semifinals of this year's Wrestling Championship.
one thing you will notice about the sport of wrestling is it can be a family affair, especially when you have a brother close to your age. I know a lot of guys I wrestled with who had brothers and were able to, you know, it's constant partner for practice, especially with the Katkas. They wrestle at the same weight class, so their whole entire lives they've been able to work out together and build up to this moment and the success they've had as college wrestlers. Ryan was at Navy before coming to Virginia. Hunter choosing to go to Virginia Tech out of high school. Hunter gets in on that leg. Ryan trying to keep the scramble going. He does. He gets the leg. Could get behind for a takedown. His brother doing everything he can to keep that leg there. Laying on it full weight, and they get a stall. Go back to the center.
The second and final AQ on the line here at 285 pounds as they continue in neutral here in the third.
15 seconds remaining. Katka versus Katka, the two brothers. Phenomenal builds on both of them here, Nick.
Just two athletic specimens from the Katka family. Hunter looks like he's going to get the win. He does. You see that tap for his younger brother, and obviously a lot of respect between those two as wrestlers and brothers. 7-3 the win for Hunter, and there's the big hug after.
A moment for the Katka family.